He hasn't yet developed the cynical filters or the ideological fatigue that many adults seem to have in this world.
Right. She's described as smart, anxious, and just asking questions constantly. Relentlessly curious.
Yeah, her disposition is defined by that intellectual drive. And her background is this beautiful, complex mix, very representative of modern America, actually.
Well, tell us about that.
She's half Korean, half Russian, Jewish heritage.
So a real blend, a tapestry of different cultures, different histories,
Yeah.
global diasporas coming together in one person.
Exactly. And you have to place that rich identity right up against the 5-3 Amendment. It's crucial.
Yes.
Because by those rules, the ones defining exceptional Americans.
She's instantly out. Doesn't qualify.
Instantly categorized as part of the less than whole citizenry. Her diverse heritage, which you'd think would be a strength,
Should be.
it automatically puts her outside that privileged circle defined by the law, and you can see how that would just feed into her natural anxiety.
Her very existence kind of quietly challenges the whole premise of the amendment, doesn't it?
It really does, and this reality being multicultural in a state that's actively legislating against multiculturalism, it seems to push her towards this very solitary, very intellectual way of coping, of resisting maybe. Hashtag 2.2, the Facts Girl paradox. And that intellectual rigor, it shows up in her social life, but maybe not in a good way.
The source material says she's known at school as the Facts Girl.
The Facts Girl. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's not a term of endearment.
Doesn't sound like it. It seems to be a label that marks her as different, an outsider.
It's like the price she pays for trying to be clear-eyed.
Kind of. While the other kids are, playing, laughing, maybe not worrying too much about the news, Vera's analyzing things. She's tracking the political arguments, noticing her family's stress. She worries. Deeply.
She can't just accept the easy answers, maybe. The simple stories that seem to comfort everyone else. Exactly. And that's the paradox, isn't it? She's doing exactly what a responsible citizen should do. Seeking information, questioning power, trying to understand complexity.
Foundational stuff.
But in this hyper-polarized world described in the source, that very curiosity makes her disruptive. It makes other people uncomfortable, maybe, because they prefer the simple narratives, even if those narratives are, lies.
So in this fractured America, trying to be genuinely well-informed actually makes you a social outcast.
It seems that way for Vera, yeah. It's a really sharp commentary on the information environment they're living in. If the goal of some parts of society is to keep people blinded by lies, then the person insisting on collecting the actual facts.
She becomes the problem.
The anomaly.
Yeah. The Facts Girl. Hashtag 2.3, the things I still need to know diary.
So if the outside world, school, maybe even home sometimes, isn't a safe place for her questions and her complexity, what does she do?
She creates her own space, a secret notebook. The source calls it the Things I Still Need to Know diary. A diary. Okay. But it sounds like more than just, teenage journaling.
Oh, definitely. It's presented as this repository for information, but also as a tool, a sophisticated way for her to manage her anxiety, to try and process everything.
Like an intellectual survival kit.
Kind of, yeah. And think of what she's putting in there. The source says she writes down complicated adult words she doesn't yet understand.
Complicated adult words, like what do you think?
Well, given the context, we're not talking about long division.
Yeah.
She's probably grappling with the language of the political crisis itself. Words tied to the 5-3 debate.
So concepts maybe like gerrymandering or disenfranchisement.
Exactly. Trying to visualize how power works, how votes get manipulated, maybe things like economic precarity, trying to understand why her dad's magazine is failing.
Structural inequality.
Propaganda.
All of it. The vocabulary of the adult world's failures. She's essentially trying to catalog the terminology of politics, race, power, the very things tearing the country and maybe her family apart. She's trying to learn the language of the lie, almost.